Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, a special welcome to you. And my channel is all about parenting, adulting, finance, marriage. They are all my lanes, so I talk about everything and occasional DIY. So make sure you like, you share, you subscribe, and keep watching. So today I want to talk about something that I believe that a lot of ethnic minorities don't talk about within our communities, or maybe I've just not been in that space, or I haven't been privileged enough to be in a community where we talk about it, or to be in a gathering where we talk about it. And this is something that I researched hard on, I prayed hard on, and I'd like to share that with you guys in hope that you can learn something from this journey. And if you're a pregnant mom at this time, especially, you can begin to lay the right foundation for the future of your child. So keep watching. I didn't have a village when I became a mom, and if you've been following any of my videos, or you heard about any of, or you've seen any of my other motherhood videos, you will probably know this by now, because I think it was a significant highlight in my journey into motherhood. I didn't have grandparents nearby, no built-in system, nothing. There was no one telling me what to, how to, when to. So before my son was born, I researched everything. I mean, as much as I could. I went ham on research. I researched schools because I didn't understand the educational system in the UK. I researched child development. I did courses. I researched language, communication, diet, everything I researched. The beautiful thing about the internet is the more you look, the more you see. So the more I researched, the more I saw things about what I researched. And I noticed a significant difference in children back home in Nigeria and children from where I'm living now in the UK. One thing that stood out to me was speech delay. I noticed it was more common here than it was back at home. And that thought stayed with me, not from a place of judgment, but from a place of curiosity. I wanted to understand why. Why was it? Why was I hearing more about it? Was it just because we're having more conversations here in the UK and equipping women for it than we were back home? Or was there a difference in culture, in environment that contributed to these things? So I was very curious to know why, because I wanted to support my child the best way possible. In all of my curiosity and asking why, I came to my own conclusion. Notice I said my own conclusion, mine. What I believe is that in the West, many parents, myself included, were raising children alone. So you probably have heard me say, me and my husband are alone parents. No support system other than God, and we're doing the thing. So this is very common with a lot of people in the West. We are tired, we're overstimulated, we're working, we're surviving, we're doing everything by ourselves. So naturally, there's less talking, less explaining, and less shared interaction. But back home, language is everywhere. People are constantly talking, emotions are loud, stories are dramatic. In fact, silence is the rare thing back home. So now, am I saying that people back home are not working, they're not tired, they're not overstimulated, they're not surviving as well? Not at all. But most times, there is a real village. And if there's no village, there is labor that can be hired easily to fill up some of the gaps. You can get a driver, you can get a chef, you can get a nanny, you can drop your kids with grandma or grandpa. That is almost the norm back home. There are occasional cases where you don't have that, but it is the norm to have that, or to have those. Language is everywhere. They're constantly talking to your baby back home. People are visiting, grandma is talking, grandpa is talking, aunties, uncles, neighbors. Your baby is constantly in a world of communication, either gestures, they're just surrounded by interaction. And it is very different in the West, where we're more individualistic in nature and a lot of people are doing life alone. Later, I learned that there's actually a child development theory that explains this. It says children don't develop language in isolation. They develop it through interaction, through conversation, through being spoken to, through being included in the world. In simple terms, children learn how to think and speak by listening to how we talk. That changed everything for me. I started merging both worlds together, so I started talking to my son regularly. But of course, I still needed my own quiet time, and there were times where I just could not get myself to talk as much. But that was okay because consistency was what counted here. I narrated my day, I spoke about my emotions, my feelings, what I was wearing, what we were eating, where we were going, what was happening next. I talked about everything happening. I described things, I used sounds, I sang in as many languages as I can speak, and I read loads and loads and loads and loads of books. And what I realized is when you talk to your child like that, you are doing something powerful. You are equipping them with communication and language even before they are ready to use it. You are also modeling how to name feelings, make sense of a world that is new to them, regulate their emotions, and building their inner voice that they would then learn to use by themselves. By the time my son was 2, everywhere we went, we were always complimented about how well spoken he was. He also started reading by 2. He was known for his love of books. He could regulate his emotions way better. So I almost couldn't relate with the terrible twos because he could almost all the time name what he was feeling rather than throwing himself on the floor. Yes, he still had tantrums, but they were really and drastically reduced because we could just have certain conversations about it, or he could tell me or point to the feelings that he was having on his feelings charts, and then I knew what to do from there. So there was less stress, less confusion, and less frustration. Now, I know children are different and they learn at different paces and they have different capacities, but I didn't have any templates or I didn't have a sheet or a cheat code for the capacity of my child. I just did what I researched and what I felt strongly about and what I thought would work for that child. I didn't know his abilities. I mean, he was a baby. It's not written on their forehead. All I did was try and try and try again. So if you're a new mom, exhausted, sleep deprived, and you're wondering, do they even understand me? Will they even understand what I'm saying? Just talk. Don't worry about it. It felt uncomfortable for me talking to a baby. It felt awkward. It felt weird. But I just kept on talking. Tell them how you feel. Tell them how you're eating. Tell them how sleep deprived you are. Tell them what they're going to eat next. Tell them when it's time for their nappy change. Talk to them about the colors around you, about the sounds around you. Talk to them about everything. Sing a song with their names. Make things up. Tell stories. Dance. I know it's an exhausting period, and you can tell them that too. Trust me, based on research and the results that I personally saw, you are not wasting time. You are building confidence, you are building language, you are building emotional intelligence, you're building a person that can make sense of their world, and you're becoming the village for your child. Even as you are pregnant, you can start talking to your baby in the womb. They already start picking up sound around 16 to 18 weeks. Can you imagine? 16 to 18 weeks. So it is a beautiful time to start practicing how to sing with their names, how to sing songs, how to tell them what's going on. And you can start practicing with your bump now. You don't have to wait till they're here. This night right now, if you're pregnant, is a good time to start practicing. So that's all I wanted to share with you as a mom that is constantly learning and developing so that I can also support so many mamas out there. If you've had any experience with speech delay in your child and you have any tips, please leave them in the comment section. I'm sure that there are other people who will learn and be blessed from your experience. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and see you in my next video. Bye!